VSS wire is your vehicle speed signal, and this can be found in a service manual or in a Chilton manual or any documentation you might get from the dealer on what the wiring is of a vehicle. But it should be labeled VSS, as in vehicle speed sensor. When I looked in the dealer manual, it said that the vehicle speed sensor was a green wire with a white stripe. Now in this case, we've marked it with a little yellow dot for clarity to show you what wire you need to connect to. This wire can be different colors, different wiring, different places. You need to consult the owner's manual or the dealer's manual to look for the correct wire in this case. For the VSS wire, what we're going to do is we're going to strip the wire, use the male disconnect and the inline splice, or the T-splice, to splice this in place. This is going to be very hard for the camera to get, so we're going to do this off camera, and we'll show you the finished product after. So now that you've made the ground connection, the positive connection, and the VSS connection, you want to pass the cable through the engine compartment to the cabin, and you can do that by, there's normally a rubber grommet that you can actually push this through to the engine compartment, and that will get it inside the cabin compartment of the vehicle. Now, to prove that we have the right wire for the VSS signal, we have connected an oscilloscope to the wire in question, and we're going to drive the vehicle just a little bit to make sure that that signal moves as the car moves, and it should move proportional to as the car moves. So as I move the vehicle, you'll see the square wave, and the faster I go, the closer it gets together. The slower I go, the farther apart it is. And the signal should also work backwards. So if I'm driving backwards, because speed is speed, it doesn't know any better, you will see the same signal, and it should not be proportional to the motor, it should be proportional to the wheels moving. So the faster the wheels move, the closer the signal will be. Okay, so now I've got the VSS cable inside the cabin. You have this little connector here, which we'll discuss this as we adjust the VSS signal. We have this connector, which is a 4-pin connector, and that goes to your digital input cable, and you'll see that there's 4 pins there. And this connects into here. Then this cable, you'll see that there's 6 pins there. That goes to the DriveRight. And you make the connection the same way. Push it in. What you will notice, though, with the DriveRight display, is that the battery light, or the battery icon, is one out. That means that we are wired to 12 volts, and the system is working. Without the cable connected, you'll see that the battery icon comes on. That shows that we do not have power to the system. Okay, so I'm going to reconnect this, and now we have mounted it to the dash. The next thing we need to do is we need to calibrate the unit. We have it all wired up. We're sitting here, we have the display going, we've installed the battery, and we want to calibrate it. We want to make sure that 40 kilometers per hour is 40 kilometers per hour here. What we're going to do is we're going to calibrate it. We want to hold the mode key down. Now we've wired up the positive, the negative, and we wired up the reed switch, and we have to get a sample for the calibration. So we're going to hold the mode key down, and you'll hear it beep, and you see it comes up to the settings screen. We're going to press the mode key sharply until we get to the cal screen, and then we're going to drive it up to 40 kilometers per hour. And once we reach 40 kilometers per hour, I'm going to hold the set key so that it samples that many clicks per that much time. So we're getting up to 25 miles per hour. And I'm going to hold the set key. You can see the cal comes up, and you can see the little done. And then what we can do just to check the calibration is we will run the speed down to
to 15 miles per hour or about 20 kilometers per hour. Just as a double check for the calibration. And it looks good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold the mode key again. What this will do is get it back to the normal mode. And now we're just in the current screen, which you can see right here. And that is the calibration.
That concludes the DriveRight 600E VSS installation video. We have shown you how to connect power, ground, the VSS signal, how to find the VSS signal, how to connect the wiring, how to calibrate the DriveRight 600E. This is Perry Dillon of Davis Instruments saying, Drive right.